looks like, and I'll share the results real quick. It looks like some of you, majority of us are more familiar with Office Allies. So that's a good baseline Priya, for both of us. And the second question looks like it was like 50-50 when it refers to Simple Practice, just one of the tools to file the claims, and if you started filing or not. This is a good gauge to see where all are at. So just in case in the near future, we know what we're working with. So don't worry, none of you are alone. This is not easy. This is not for the faint of heart. Welcome, Diane. So glad you made it. This is not for the faint of heart. Yes, you're here. That's what matters. So I'm going to pass it over to Priya, and I'll start talking, but I'll be more in the background of tech support and help host any other questions. So yeah, the floor is yours, Priya.
All right, let me share my screen. Can everyone see this? Wait. Yes. Okay, let me go back.
Not yet, but
okay.
You just me.
Okay. We're almost there. Hold on. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, welcome to our claims workshop tonight. I was going to hold questions until the end. However, I realize if you're just not filing claims yet, you might have questions as we go. So if you have a question, raise your hand or put it in the chat. I will defer to Bianca to spot those questions because I'm not good at doing all the things. I'm good at multitasking, but not so much on the screen. So Bianca, I'll let you just field those questions. If I'm going too fast or need clarification, please allow me to stop and explain. This is becoming a little bit more familiar to me, but by no means do I want to gloss over anybody's doubts because that's the whole point of this. So please do not be hesitant at all. All right, so let's get started. All right. So I was like, how do I explain this to you guys? So I made this little graphic. So let's get started. So we, you doulas, are the provider, okay? You're going to file your claim with a clearinghouse. A clearinghouse is the one that receives all of the claims, and they are the ones that will put it forward to the insurance companies or the managed care plans. Also, the abbreviation is MCP, or for instance, IHP. And then the IHP or the insurance company are the ones that will pay you. So if you hear these terms, you know, clearinghouse, MCP, this is what they are referring to. And just for purposes of this presentation, I am going to be focusing on filing claims with IHP. You can file claims with other Medi-Cal MCPs. I personally have not. I started to with Molina. It did not work out. So for me personally, right now, I'm just doing IHP. So I'm going to show you how I've been successful to file claims with IHP and get paid. Okay. All right. So I feel like this might be the best way to get started. So I believe it was Diane's question, what is an EMR? So an EMR is an electronic medical record. So this is where providers will chart all of the appointments, your patient notes, all of that stuff. I feel, you know, it's kind of like a good way to start because there's some companies, and I use the company as Simple Practice, that you can actually schedule your appointments, you can chart in there, and you can file your claim directly with the clearinghouse using Simple Practice. However, like I said, this is not an ad. I use it because it's literally, it makes sense to me, but there's many other EMRs that are out there. So I do encourage you to do your own research of what gives you the best rate for what you're looking for. Also, IHP and I believe Medi-Cal as a whole do offer you to have an interface with Office Ally Clearinghouse. So you can use their interface to send claims. There have been some doulas that have been able to navigate it and successfully file claims. I went on there once, honestly, and it scared me, and I just went to Simple Practice. So the advantage to Office Ally, it is free as a Medi-Cal provider. You can use it to send claims. Downfall, I guess, for Simple Practice, it is a monthly fee, but for me, it's easier to chart and send claims. But if you want to talk more about that stuff, we can talk about that later. If you want a referral code, I have it for Simple Practice, but I'm not getting paid with them. It's not an ad, but that's how I've been successful to get paid. All right, so I do want to just share this. If you would like, you can screenshot this. This should not be new. However, if you do not know, these are the different services that we get covered for as Medi-Cal providers. So these are the types of visits. So for instance, one initial visit, this is the billing code, and this is how much you'll get paid. When you file your claims, you will have to input codes. You will have to put in the amount that you will get paid for. There's not a system that they automatically generate. However, once you start filing claims, for instance, Simple Practice, those claims and those codes get linked, and so you don't have to enter them every time. So for me, that's another reason why that I like Simple Practice, because it makes my life simple. So just kind of take note, these are the charges, and something that I have learned, and it's a Medi-Cal rule, that you will not get 100% of what this is. For instance, this 126.31, IHP per Medi-Cal will pull 1% from that total. Something I did not realize until I started seeing my checks and realizing they weren't full amounts. And I went into like the Medi-Cal bylaws, and it is there that they, even from non-doula visits, they do pull 1%. Where that 1% goes, I do not know, but just to be aware of that. So just, these are the kinds of visits that we can bill for. Okay, I see something in the chat. Did I miss anything? Okay. Oh, thanks, Bianca, for sending that. Appreciate that. Okay, so just take note of this again, screenshot this. I'm going to be talking about modifier codes, and I'll explain a little bit more, but just take note of these modifier codes and these diagnosis codes. Something that I do when I'm filing claims, I print out that previous page that I showed you and these codes. I put it in a clear plastic sheet protector, and I keep that next to me. So when I'm filing claims, I have my codes ready to go, and I'm not flipping across screens and stuff like that. Again, that's a system that works for me. Don't feel like you have to do that, but these are the codes you're always going to be referring to. Modifier codes, you will always need to input. So just keep those in mind. If you are having a face-to-face meeting with a client, that modifier code is XP, whether it's in their home or in a hospital or a birthing center. If you do a phone call with them, that modifier code is 93. And when you do a video call with them, that modifier code is 95. So these are the diagnosis codes that you will have to put in. These are the only codes that are approved. Way back when I started, I was using Z34 for postpartum, which was accepted. However, now they have changed it to Z39. So make sure you have these updated codes, because if you don't have these, you will not get paid. Okay, so this is the claim form. It's called CMS 500. You can also purchase them from Staples and mail them in. I just feel like it's a little bit more cumbersome because you do have to enter everything every time. Plus you're paying for postage. You don't know if it's getting there, all of that stuff. And there is a delay in getting paid. So, right now for me, for instance, the turnaround time with getting paid with IHP electronically, I file a claim within 10 to 12, really it's like 10 to 14 days, I'm getting paid for that claim. If you're mailing it, there will be a delay. So I just want to preface that. When you do file claims electronically, you will choose a kind of form of how you file your claim. So make sure you choose CMS 500. All right, I see some questions. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Bianca. I appreciate that. Okay, awesome. All right. So these are the sections that need to be filled out. If you want to screenshot this, I have no problem. I went ahead and highlighted everything. So I'm going to show you what you will do. So the first one in box 1, you're going to check Medicaid. IHP Medi-Cal plans fall under Medicaid. The way I distinguish Medicaid from Medicare, Medicaid ends with a D. D is for destitute. So those are all our Medi-Cal plans. Medicare ends in E. E is for elderly. So we do not ever have a Medicare plan. So you're going to check that. Oh, then you're going to go over to 1A, and you are going to fill in their insured ID number. So that should be the ID number that is on their IHP card. You're then going to fill out their name, their date of birth, their name on the card, because not always the name that they go by is the name on their card. If they got married or they changed their name, you want to make sure that matches. Their address, the relationship to their insured. Usually with IHP, it is their self, but you want to make sure it's correct. If any of these things are wrong, your claim will be rejected. So just make sure these are correct. You're going to enter their full street address with their phone number, and then you're going to do it twice. If they have a group number, like if you end up filing with Molina or anything, you will have to put their group number down there. Again, put their date of birth. And is there another health plan benefit plan? There shouldn't be with IHP, but you always want to check, because if they have another one, they will also defer to that plan to get paid. So just something also when you're looking for clients, always check if they have another plan or if they don't. And then with this one, you will need their signature. However, when you file this claim electronically, there is an option that says their signature is held on file. So that option will be there to show you, for you to click. Okay, now transferring to the bottom half of the same form. These are the next things that you will need to fill out. So these diagnosis codes, these are those codes that, like for instance, Z33.1 for pregnancy, that you will have to fill out here. These are the dates of service for that visit. Then the place of service, whether it's a hospital, a telehealth. And again, on the electronic form, there is a drop-down menu for you to choose the place of service. Then for these will be the CPT service codes. This is where the modifier will go. So if you had a office visit, you would write XP. If it was a audio call, then it's 93, and a video call is 95. You can ignore the diagnosis pointer. An F, you will have to input those charges that I talked about. This part of the units, this gets a little hairy, because this is when you are doing the units for those 3-hour postpartum visits. It's $15 per unit, up to a total of 12 units for 180 minutes. So that's how many units you'll have to put in. If you use an electronic version, all you have to do is put the number of units. It spits out the number of your total. So that's, again, another reason I like electronic claims. And then you'll have to put your NPI number here. I do want to preface that if you have 2 NPIs, like you have one for your business, like you have an LLC, and then you have an individual NPI, this is where your individual NPI will go. And down here is where your business NPI will go. If you only have a type 1 NPI and you have the same NPI for both yourself and your business, it is the same. So I messed that up in my first claim. So that's how I found out that my individual NPI goes here, my business NPI goes here. Okay, then you're going to put your federal tax ID number or your EIN number or your social security number, depending on how you filed your business. So you want to always match how you filed your business. Then you're going to enter your total charge for this claim, and then the amount that you should be getting paid. You can file up to 6 claims per client per form. However, the caveat is if you have different types of appointments, like if you saw patient X for 3 office visits and 3 telehealth visits, all of them cannot be on the same form. You have to do 3 office visits together and then 3 telehealths together on a separate form. If you saw a patient in a different place, so let's say patient X, I saw them in the office 3 times, but then their 4th visit was their delivery at the hospital, that 4th visit needs to be on a separate claim. Again, I found out after getting rejected claims. So just kind of keep those in mind. If you feel like, I don't know if I'm doing it right, and you want to do a separate claim for each one, that's totally fine. And again, that's why the electronic form becomes so much easier to do. Okay, so these are some pointers. I was trying to think of things that I have gotten docked for get rejected claims. So like, again, different types of services do need different forms. And something I learned as well, when you file your vaginal and cesarean deliveries, that code CPT, even though it's part of the billing code, If you enter CPT in the billing section, it will get rejected. So do not enter CPT for vaginal or cesarean deliveries. You'll also want to include your in-hospital dates. And let me go back actually to show you guys where that's going to go. I didn't highlight it. It's box 18 because you may not be in a hospital, but let's say patient X delivered today and she's going to be maybe discharging tomorrow. You may not know yet, but you can at least file the claim for today and say, okay, from today, 11/6/2023 to 11/6/2023. If you do it retrospective, like in 2 days, and she checked out on the 7th, so then you do it 11/6 to 11/7. But if you do any in-hospital services here, where it says place of service, you have to have hospital dates here. Again, I did not know that until my claim was rejected. I already stated that this is the individual NPI different from a group NPI. Never forget the modifier. And this I found out with one of my patients because they just did not have the 4-digit zip code, like the one that makes the zip code very exact. So I found out that if they don't have a 4-digit modifier zip code, you just enter 0001. Go figure. So those are all the mistakes that I've made that got kicked back. So hopefully you will not have that problem now. Okay, yeah, this is the hospitalization. Okay, so these are the reasons that so far that I've had for rejected claims. I might have the wrong code. I might be placing the CPT for deliveries. I might be missing a place of service, missing your incorrect modifier, and missing in-hospital dates. So again, just be very careful when you go through it. Even if you've done several claims, you can still have rejections. I just got an email today that something I did was wrong. So, but know that you can always rectify it. But then the question is, how do we fix rejected claims? Which I did not know was a process as well. So, how to fix a rejected claim? So you're going to go to this box where it says 22 on a brand new claim form. And then you're going to write down the original claim number in this thing here. So that's why it's really good to keep good records. With simple practice, that's what I use. I am able to get the original claim number from that form. So I will then put the original claim number here. And then this box 19, on the electronic side, you have a pull down menu and you write down what is the reason that you are refiling. So you could write incorrect code or missing in-hospital dates, whatever that is, but you want to also write that in here. And then you're going to submit it. My suggestion is if you have rejected claims, keep an Excel sheet or a piece of paper or something, however you keep track of things, so that you know that when you resubmitted your claim, so that when you get paid, you know you got paid for that resubmitted claim. Because otherwise there's no record of it once it's gone. All right, that's really what I have, guys. So I hope this helped you a little bit. And if you run into problems, you can always email me. This is my phone number. You can always text me here. I am more than willing to help. I have a full load, as all of you know, but I will totally make the time to help you guys. So I will open it up for questions at this time.